Most people try to build habits with willpower. That's why they struggle. Because willpower is not a system. Willpower gets tired. Willpower gets distracted. Willpower disappears when you're stressed, overwhelmed, discouraged, or even just plain old busy. But your brain has a habit system, and once you understand how it works, you can stop fighting your brain and start training it. I'm Dr. Sean, neurologist and founder of the Dolphin Award for Amazing Doctors. And today, I'm giving you the 3-step neurological formula for building habits that stick. For real, not just for a week. The system lives deep in your brain in a region called the basal ganglia. The basal ganglia helps automate repeated behaviors. That means many of the things you do every day are not really decisions anymore. They are loops. The way you reach for your phone, the way you snack at night, the way you avoid the gym or go to the gym, the way you react to stress, the way you spend money, the way you avoid difficult discussions, the way you check your blood pressure or forget it, the way you prepare for the day. These behaviors become patterns because your brain is always trying to save energy. And the basal ganglia runs on a 3-step loop. The first part of the step is the cue. A cue is a trigger that tells your brain this behavior is coming. It could be a time of the day, a location, an emotion, a person, a smell, a notification you get, even a stressful moment, or walking into the kitchen, sitting on the couch, opening your laptop, getting home from work. The cue tells your brain, we've been here before. The second part of the loop is the routine. The routine is the behavior itself, the action your brain has learned to perform when the cue shows up. That may be taking a walk, or skipping it, taking your blood pressure medication, or forgetting it, opening up the budget, or avoiding those numbers, listening with patience, or getting defensive, preparing for a meeting, or procrastinating. The routine is the action your brain has practiced, and what your brain practices, your brain protects. The third part of the loop is the reward. The reward is the payoff that tells your basal ganglia, let's do that again. And here's what most people miss. The reward needs to happen quickly. Your basal ganglia works on tight feedback loop. If the reward is delayed, like I'll feel better in 6 months when I'm in shape, or my blood pressure will improve eventually, your brain may not connect today's action to tomorrow's result. That's why so many good intentions fade. The goal is real, the desire is real, but the brain does not get an immediate signal that the habit is worth repeating. So if you want a habit to stick, you have to engineer the loop. That's the magic. Cue, routine, immediate reward. If your goal is fitness, don't just say, I need to work out. Create the cue. After I put my walking shoes on, then I'll walk for 10 minutes. Then give your brain the reward. Check it off. Celebrate the win. Play your favorite song. Say to yourself, that is who I am becoming. If your goal is better blood pressure control, don't just say, I need to be healthier. Create the cue. After I brush my teeth, I'll take my medication or check my pressure. Then reward the action immediately. Track the number. Mark the calendar. Give yourself credit for taking care of your future. If your goal is professional growth, create the cue. When I open my laptop, I'll complete one high-value task before checking distractions. Then reward it. Stand up, take a breath, acknowledge the win. If your goal is financial growth, create the cue. Tell yourself every Friday, I'll check one account, pay one bill, or move one amount into savings. Then reward it. Not with more spending, with evidence. You showed up. You faced the number. You built trust with yourself. That is how habits become identity. Not through shame, not through pressure, not through waiting until you feel inspired, but through repetition, with intention. Your brain does not need to be perfect. Your brain needs a pattern, a cue it can recognize, a routine it can repeat, a reward it can remember. So today, do not try to change your whole life at one time. Choose one habit, one cue, one routine, one immediate reward, one 10-minute walk, one blood pressure check, one focused work session, one honest discussion, one financial decision, one act of discipline, one small step toward the version of you that is committed to win. Because small habits are not small when they are repeated. They become pathways. They become patterns. They become proof. And eventually, they become who you are. Cue, routine, immediate reward. That's the formula. That's the magic. That's the brain science. And that is how you build habits that stick. Tell me in the comments, what habits are you trying to build? Drop one cue, one routine, and one reward. And let's engineer this loop together. Subscribe for more brain science that helps you build your winning brain. I'm Dr. Sean, and I want you to keep winning.